That's it.
Thanks
Hey,
for coming.
you're watching it or listening to Podcast is Broken's live Christmas special, like one of those variety shows from the 1970s, except with less Miss Merv Griffin and more Cher. Um, Thank you for subscribing. If you subscribe, free. Otherwise, paid. If you're a paid subscriber, well, thank you. We appreciate that a lot. At least I
We
do.
love
They
you.
don't see any money yet. Um, I think Lisa C is the only person that makes money off this podcast. I think actually so far.
Sounds right.
Appreciate it.
It does. Well, exactly.
We're good with it.
There we go. Well, Podcast is Broken is a weekly podcast in which we try to make Canadian news and politics fa la 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 lar. Did I steal yours? My name's Brittlestar.
My name is Steve. And I think we make it an absolute fa la 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 delight.
Oh,
Oh, okay, that's good.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, Rudolph. My name is Lisa, and I think we make it fa la 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 tastic.
Ooh.
and who else is joining us tonight?
Oh, I'm also Lisa, and I didn't come prepared with an intro, so I'm gonna steal funner.
First, you
Ooh,
steal a
I
name.
like funner.
You steal a name,
I like
and then
funner.
you steal an intro. Well,
Yeah.
that's great. That's the kind of content we're looking to offer. All right, let's going to move over to the chat here. I see that Baby has arrived with money. That's great.
Baby. I love a baby with money.
So this is the Christmas special, and as people sort of gradually mill in, there's about 20 folks so far watching, which is exciting.
There are a bunch watching me struggle with the audio on Twitch, which is going really swimmingly.
Oh,
Excellent. That's why I didn't commit to anything.
That reminds me of Christmas specials from a long time ago, when there'd be audio problems.
We need to have the that takes us back in time.
Exactly. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. How you
Good.
doing?
Feeling festive.
Good. I did have a Santa hat on, but Shannon and Gregor, my youngest son, both said no to the hat.
No?
Actually, Shannon's first words were, "If there's a bigger Santa hat, sure." And I was like, "I'm surprised this one fit in my head. This is as big as it gets."
Oh, she wanted one of those like dramatic ones, right? That like
Well, no, I think she just wanted it not to be taut around my forehead. I have a rather. You haven't seen me in real life, Lisa B, but when you see me in real life, as Lisa C will attest, it's a thing of wonder. My head.
I'm
It's
bringing
an
a measuring
engineering
tape.
marvel. You know
Is
that
it-
whole thing about the whole
Is
thing
it
about
load
how
bearing?
it's my neck is barely load bearing. It's like that
Just
thing where
walks
they tell
around
you
like-
about bumblebees, and they're like, they can't fly. Logically, bumblebees can't fly. It's like when you look at me in my head, you're like, that neck is not going to hold that up, but it does somehow.
bless his little heart.
Yeah, it's a Christmas miracle. Is what it is.
His little heart. We're going with little heart, eh?
Well, cotton socks. I would have accepted cotton socks as well as Little Heart. But you're all well. And Lisa C, of course, for those who don't know, Lisa C, who's joining us, is our video editor of the podcast episodes. And she's now, for those of you listening at home, she is waving her hands in silence.
She makes the magic happen.
The audio format is ideal for gesture, obviously.
Mhm.
It
Yes,
is. It
yes.
really is.
The best way to communicate really is through interpretive physical action at all times.
That's where
Don't
the
worry,
nuance
Lisa.
is.
They do the same thing to me when you're not here.
Oh, I don't want this
Yeah.
to turn into a gender thing, but it probably will.
No, it's just Lisa's versus you guys.
That's right.
I just wanted to say before I get into the comments here, I want you to all, I want to ask you all if you liked the Christmas gift I got you, which of course you would have just found out about sometime today, that Jordan Peterson is leaving Canada.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it feels like that's just a Christmas gift like 2 weeks early.
Exactly. Right? Little special,
Also-
something.
I feel I've
To
been
the Twitch chat and to the YouTube chat, I'm aborting mission because it is not working. So just come on over to all of the many varied things.
Others.
Head to brittlestar.ca to watch us over there because this is not
Sure.
working. So I'm going to focus on this. Love you all.
Anyway, I feel like I've been a very good girl, and I feel that he should have just left. just
Yeah. Yeah. Lisa C., you're a big Jordan Peterson fan. What do you think?
He's gone.
Woo!
Merry
So,
Christmas.
Here's my question. as he was currently in the middle of his We Who Wrestle with God tour, does that mean that God is now 1-0?
I think so. I think it's going to be probably Jake Paul next.
Oh God.
I'd watch that.
Oh my God. Yeah. The
Oh.
only thing is, who's taking a dive in that one? Because you don't want to win against the Almighty, but also
Are you
there's a lot of
suggesting
money,
God
Netflix
God would
money on
take
the
a
line.
dive for the right amount of money?
No, I'm saying like who does?
I think God's about the greater good, and even he's sick of fucking Peterson. So
I
bye.
feel that's correct. I feel
Yeah.
that's correct. Steve in chat says from YouTube says best Christmas ever, and
That's so sad, Steve.
that's
So
nice.
I think this is indeed the best Christmas ever because I'm spending it with my dear, delightful friends
Where are they?
who tell me to shut up semi-regularly.
We're like a real family. This is like a real family Christmas. At some point, people will be throwing things at each other. It'll be great.
Exactly.
I mean,
I
I've
think
got
it's-
my 2 fireplaces on the go because more fireplaces,
Cover
more
your
better. We all know the rules.
C3PO.
What? That guy? No, we've been using him for Nerf gun practice.
Awesome.
Aw,
Awesome.
that's sad. That's very sad.
In fairness,
Uh,
C-3PO isn't known for his likability. Nobody was like, you know who I
How
love? The
dare
rules
you.
guy.
Or his
Let's get into
agility.
this.
That robot who's really hung up on the rules, he's my guy.
Allow me to get on my soapbox for a minute.
Please do. I really
No, I don't
enjoy
have a
when
soapbox.
people
How deep in
perform
the
their
weeds
soapboxery.
do you want me to get
Exactly.
about Star Wars?
I can't,
I know nothing.
with this
Okay.
size of head, I can't go to any elevation whatsoever. This is as high as I get above sea level. Otherwise, pressure changes happen.
So my family is very like frozen in time, and like I was really into Star Wars when I was a little kid, and so still as a man who's about to turn 40, I get like BB-8 cutting boards for Christmas and stuff. I got a lightsaber pizza cutter last year that does not cut pizza, but it goes when you try.
Does it just like a regular roller, but it makes the noise?
Yeah.
What's
the
that?
psh-
Is it a regular roller, but it makes the noise?
It's a regular roller, except it's got like the diameter of like a little Dremel tool. It's not good for
Oh.
cutting pizza.
Nice, nice.
Well, since you said to your family you don't want to get those things anymore, do you want to put
Oh,
out your Christmas list
yeah,
wishes
that's-
here?
Let's do that.
That's
Let's
the
do
one
Christmas
you drop.
lists.
As soon as you get the Star Wars present, you're like, you know what? Just for the room, no more Star Wars.
I appreciate that.
Steve ruins Christmas again.
Once again. Oh, I've got more room in my frame now. I can bring up my Santa's head on a pike.
I don't like him near me.
Is that like as a warning to other Santas?
That's right. There's only one Santa, and
I was gonna say that's
Eight.
Santa CEO,
exactly.
and we're just sending a message.
There's a whole range of different Santa inks at this point.
This
So, like,
LED
do
light
you-
box is not meant for holding Santas. I just want you to know that. I'm
No.
going to be complaining to the manufacturer. There
Do
we go.
you folks have like Christmas traditions that you still maintain, or is it sort of like we hang out, we drink a little nog, we watch Die Hard, and away we go?
Die Hard. Here we go. Christmas like is very like just traditional, right? So it's like the turkey and all that kind of stuff. But for me, like New Year's is like the Italian side, so we have like all the Italian goodies. So I like, I like a good turkey, but New Year's is the best for me. I like that.
How about you,
Lisa
Stuart?
C. Oh, me. Yeah, screw Lisa C. Let's talk to me.
She'll just edit you out anyway. it's
This
fine.
well, this year we're doing something different. This year we're going to be traveling a little bit, which is going to be fun. And but we're doing that because my dad, not to bum everyone out, my dad died in January, and so we thought we'd do something to reset tradition because we had like some basic traditions before where we'd have we'd have lunch at my mom and dad's place. And then we'd come back to our place. We'd have Christmas dinner here, not with everybody. We ditched the family like immediately because
a
we,
core
we've
group.
done that a couple of times when the kids were little, when Owen and Gregor were little, and we were like, we're never doing this again. No family is worth this at all. Children or parents, doesn't matter.
Reasonable.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're starting to reset our traditions this year and do some new stuff, and then well, actually, we're just going to circuit break them. We're going to just cut the traditions this year and then reset them next year. That's our plan. I don't know what's going to happen next year. We'll probably just get addicted to not being at home for Christmas, probably.
Maybe.
So, how about you, Lisa? What's your like Christmas
Oh, it's like split 3 ways because we're doing Ottawa, which is where my family's from, but the parents are split, so that's 50-50 the time there. And then Stratford for the tail end, because that's where Jack's from. And then
Jack is her
traditions.
fiance, by the way. Just letting
Yes.
everyone know that. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
I was saying, like,
Um,
I assumed. Okay, this is such
Isn't
a
Stuart
niche
from
reference.
there too? Like,
No, this is such a
Exactly.
niche reference, but I know that like a bunch of people at home are listening to this and are gonna know. There's a show on Netflix called Virgin River, where the
Okay.
main character, it's just like a guy comes to a small town and is awesome show basically, and the guy's name is Jack, and every scene that Jack is not present in, everybody who is in that scene is just basically going, "Where's Jack?"
That's my
At-
life.
it's it's so just the hazy, mysterious Jack figure. All I could think of is just, "Where's Jack?"
copyright infringement on Lisa's life.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to make a movie about it. It's already a thing.
There you go.
Oh, it's like a
Now, do
4-season
you have-
TV show that for some reason you've never heard of, but is like the most watched thing on Netflix. It's hilarious.
Now, Lisa C., do you have your passport ready to get to Stratford?
I do. Yeah.
That's
You have all your
What now?
'Cause we
vaccinations.
just it's there's only, we only allow so many people from Ottawa at a time.
Ah.
in
Oh,
Stratford.
gotcha.
It's pretty
Sounds
tight
fair.
restrictions.
That's fair. Yeah.
They've dug a
Yeah,
little
you gotta
moat.
hide your- yeah,
They
And
have to
when you
swab
come-
to make sure that you don't bring any Kingston in.
exactly. Little Drinkston, exactly. Because you
I
never know
don't
what people are going
know
to pick up on the
Ontario.
way. Yeah, but that was pretty good. The Ottawa to Kingston, because you would come down the 416, 417 down to the 401, and then you would go.
I love
you
people
just
from
get a straight
Ontario.
shot.
You take the 416 to the
Derail.
401, and then you
I
cut
just
over. to-
literally okay. I need you to know that I randomly just said an Ontario place name I knew, and it
Really?
landed.
Oh, it
Awesome.
landed all right.
right out of the backside.
You didn't have to admit that. You could have just patted yourself on the
So,
back after
okay,
the show.
I need you to know, in my head, it was a coin toss between Kingston and Oshawa. Did I make the right call?
Well, Kingston for sure. I feel Kingston's more prominent than Oshawa. No
Kingston's on
offense
the
to
way to
people in Oshawa.
Ottawa from Toronto.
Doesn't
Kingston
Okay,
is
so
have a
really,
pen?
what
Doesn't
I'm
Kingston
hearing
have a
is home run
penitentiary?
on the first swing.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
He's
think,
looking
I think
for
you did a good
credit.
job.
Yes, Steve, you were right. Bravo.
But I do have to clarify though that Kingston, there's no disparaging Kingston. Kingston, there's nothing to catch there. You'd only pick up cool. If you
Oh,
Steve
okay.
were driving from Ottawa down to Stratford via the 416, 417 to the 401, and you stopped off for lunch on the highway number 15 to go down to Kingston, then you'd be like, you know what? This is pretty great. And you'd come out cooler. You'd come out gaining with a net positive if you went
The
to Kingston.
way you Ontario people describe directions is
I know.
hilarious
You
to
Ontario
me.
people,
You
that's what got
Ontario.
Don Cherry
No, no, no,
fired.
You,
No,
'cause
I think
here in
I think there's more to
Saskatchewan,
that.
You just say like, okay, yeah, you just drive north and you say a number of hours. And that's
Yeah.
the directions. In
No.
Ontario, you people, your eyes roll in the back of your head and you start saying numbers. Like, oh yeah, 401 Kingston, 416 Oshawa, 415 Toronto.
'Kay,
Then
let's-
and you're just like,
415
what?
Let's be
How
real
is
in
this
Saskatchewan.
helpful or informative? Do you really think I know Ontario highway numbers?
Okay, but let's be real in Saskatchewan. It's like you drive down to the Johnson farm, then you take a left.
No.
You
no,
drive
no.
down to the
Wave to your
Phillips
parents.
turkey killing plant,
The most
and then you take.
Saskatchewan directions I've ever received were I was in Elbow, Saskatchewan, which is a very real place, and I was asking directions to, I think it was the golf course, and they told me to turn at this old barn, and someone at the bar stands up and he goes, "No, the barn fell down." It's just like,
You'll just
oh,
keep going.
all
End
right.
up in Alberta. Sorry.
That's good. That's insight. That's insight you can use. That's insight you can
Barn
use. I like
fell
it. It's
down.
good. I see that Todd says when Steve wears his toques, the TV makes him look like his head is on fire. Oh,
Yeah, I look like Anger from Inside Out pretty much whenever I'm recording a video these days, and it feels suitable.
Or you're Joe Pesci from Home Alone.
I was just gonna say that. See, she's my
Oh.
soul sister.
yeah.
Amazing.
Constance says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Constance."
Hello, everybody.
Constance.
Okay,
And,
so
yeah.
while we were talking about Christmas traditions, I've got this queued up. My wife and I have a very important annual Christmas tradition, and this is a special treat. I will describe it for those who are participating in the audio format because it's just as funny. Don't
Are
worry.
you gonna do a descriptive video for people?
Oh
who just
yes,
listen to the
absolutely.
podcast?
I'm going to talk
Okay,
you through
good.
it.
Okay.
Okay, good, awesome.
The sound you can't really hear, so I'm just going to talk you through it because what
That's
you
good.
mostly
It's-
hear is just the sounds of cars and you'll see.
And
So
it's just, it's
Don't give
just
it
under
away.
90 minutes. So here we go.
it is exactly 2 minutes and 2 seconds
Get
long
the
before you
popcorn,
complain
people.
about duration. I know for you that's a very long time. Stuart.
Boys, be nice. It's the holiday season. Let's get along.
Okay, so here's the deal. We have my lovely wife and I every Christmas we do a sparkle tour. We drive around Regina and we just look at Christmas lights. We get like fancy Christmassy hot chocolates. And we look at fancy Christmas lights. And so this is our like favorite annual tradition. It's just like this fun date night in the middle of very stressful holiday season. We just listen to Christmas music and look at lights. There's
Okay.
no map, there's no plan. We get lost in the suburbs. So
Romance.
in 2021, I had the elaborate plan to propose to her. And so I was going to do it on a sparkle tour. And so I had this plan. I faked her out. I set up my camera on top of our car a couple of times to take photos in front of different houses to make her think I was just taking photos. And then one time it was a video. One time it was a video. And I got a video of the proposal.
Okay.
So I'm going to share my screen
Yeah,
here, and I'm
please,
going to show
share your
you
screen.
this. I don't even know what to call it. Work of art.
Okay.
It
Ooh.
does not go smoothly. Can everybody see this? Okay.
I
we
can
can.
see it. Just
Yeah.
it looks amazing.
Okay.
Whoever
so-
decorated that yard deserves an
Oh.
award.
Okay, so
you.
yeah, it's like the light section of a Canadian Tire threw up on this house. I love
Seriously.
it with
Yeah.
my whole soul. I
Yeah.
need you to know
Yeah.
that I am like a Christmas maximalist, covered in garbage. I don't
Yeah.
even care. I
They
love
need
it.
to just talk to their family. I think that's the thing.
Okay, so we have me setting up the camera, thinking I'm very clever and have figured something very, very smart out here. If I can get this video to run, that would be all the cooler. There we go.
There we go. That's good.
Okay.
And now, of course, it won't.
This is
Come
much like the
on.
proposal. Just fail.
But the people who are just listening, though, they have no idea there's any video problem whatsoever.
No, they have no idea that this isn't working.
Oh, oh.
While Steve does that, I just have to say, since he's shared his screen, that scary as fuck Santa in your
scary?
shot, Stuart, is terrifying me.
Oh, yeah, the Santa of Nightmares in Stuart's shot.
Yeah, Santa's head on a pike. Let it be a warning to all of their fake Santas.
Okay, I'm going to unshare my screen for a second here while I figure out why this isn't working.
This is how it goes, people. This is how it goes.
Did it really start working as soon as I
Yes,
unshared my
it
screen?
did.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you said, I'm going to get rid of you. And it was like, haha, no,
Literally.
you're not.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay. So we
Okay.
have
Yeah.
me thinking I'm very clever and are you serious? This is just screwing with me.
You're not. Is this coming from your Google Drive?
Yes.
What's going on, man? Download it. Spare the space.
Down with Google Drive.
Well, I blame society.
I blame Justin Trudeau.
I think, like, who else can you blame other than Jordan Peterson or Justin Trudeau?
right?
Exactly.
I
and
see
now
no
one of
other
them's not a
options.
problem anymore.
Okay, how did that take that long to buffer and
Jordan
then it
Peterson
started
with
working in
Staircase
like 10 seconds? Hang on here.
But I think if you download the video
Yes, it's
and then
downloaded
play
now.
it,
It literally downloaded in like 8 seconds.
Lisa
well,
C's like, yes,
It's
yes.
like, let me just get in there.
Okay, so here we go. This will work this time. So we have me walking across. It's very exciting.
Nice ass.
We take a couple of photos. This is far shorter hair. I was far younger, so full of life at that point.
Aw.
We kiss very sweetly. It is adorable. She's got her phone out to take photos, really reading the moment well. Squats
Yeah.
down to make fun of my height. Thanks for that, dear.
Way to go, D.
And then, so here's the moment. I want to freeze frame here. So what you don't know is that my gorgeous wife is just shy of 6 feet tall. So at this exact moment, and I'm not. So
You're 4'10".
my experience in this moment is I underestimated how low I was going to feel in this moment. Because you're just like, hello. So what you don't see here is that she takes a couple of steps back and quite loudly says, "What are you doing?"
As
is-
she's pointing her finger.
What are you doing? Yeah, she reacts to moments well. So once she clocked what was going on, so now we have a really wonderful moment. This is This is why I wanted to show you this, because this person in this Hyundai Santa Fe has really made the moment. So what they've done is, while I am on my knee, they have stopped in front of us, blocking the shot that I had,
Oh, what
to
a memory.
ask me if I would like a video of this moment.
Very kind.
Get out of the way, Santa Fe. I
And I
got
was like,
stuff going on.
I'm cool. I got it. Thank you. So
Keep it going. Keep it going,
Yeah.
people.
he shuffles away. He figures out that was a misplay pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not done. We're not done. You think we're done? We're not done. That one doesn't notice. They didn't
No,
even
that one's
look up.
fine. Just drive
If you
by.
look
You
in the
can't-
windows,
yeah.
they actually did not look up, which delights me.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I think this person yelled congratulations.
That's
My wife
nice.
was very
Aw.
excited, giving me a big adorable smooch. But
Yeah.
then we get a guest star. Hold on. Wait for it. Wait
Okay.
for it. There's a lot of kissing happening. This is uncomfortable to watch.
a lot
with
of
a lot of
making
people
out.
here.
It's doing
Look,
things
You're
for
in
me.
the
I
you're in the
propose-
shadows, so it's okay.
I proposed to my wife. There's gonna be smooching. Make your peace. But then the owner of the house joins us
Are they gonna?
to come out and
Oh,
wish us
well, of course.
congratulations.
Yeah.
I was
Yes,
gonna
of
say,
course they
get
come
off
out.
my property.
Apparently,
Yeah.
somebody texted her that there was a proposal
Right.
in front of her house.
She
so
came out and she
came
said,
over
"You
to
okay,
Tell
ma'am? Are you
me-
okay, ma'am?"
Tell me you invited her to the wedding.
Honestly, I wish, seriously, somebody on YouTube or wherever, if you're watching this, if you recognize that house, we cannot figure out where it was.
You can't figure
You
out where it
don't-
was.
I know I feel judged immediately, but no, I cannot figure out where it was. Now, I will
You
not
don't
show
know
you
in
the
a
second
mid-sized
video.
town what the house is?
I
It's
will
like,
not
what-
show you the second video, but there is indeed a second video too, because my wife made me re-propose.
Oh,
She
love
felt she felt it was inappropriate that the
Right.
cat was not present, so requested I re-propose in front of the cat.
and intimidated by the height difference, he thought you better go along with it.
Like, I don't want her to say no and change her mind. Bring in the cat.
See, this is why I knew you would want to see this video. You were like, "Is it going to be a long video?" I'm like, "Just trust me, trust me."
It was worth it. The Christmas
Tom Cook
lights.
says, "Oh my God, no way." So that's a good reaction.
Yeah,
I like that
I
reaction.
like that. Yeah.
It was
That's fine.
it was humbling. It was humbling. But the good news is, like, I feel like the best proposal stories are the ones where you're like, it wasn't theatrical. It was more slightly humiliating.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm happy for you that there wasn't like foot traffic going by, like just cars.
I mean, that'll tell you like a little bit about like what the Sparkle Tour scene in Regina is like, though. That like if there's a good house, there is
Oh.
a steady stream of cars in front of
Just
it
a
for like the
magnet
month of
for
December.
lovers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Magnet
yeah,
for lovers.
literally. Like you see lights bought on December 26th at Canadian Tire, and you don't think, my goodness, I just full of love right now.
Someone's gonna make an honest woman out of you, baby.
Well, kudos to whoever decorated that house. If you're listening or watching, Steve has now made you famous.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine if
He doesn't know where you are, but
But like, can you imagine if you're just watching this stream and you're like, holy shit, that's my house.
That'd be amazing. It'd be the power of the internet. That of
Or
the
like-
59 people that are watching currently, one of
I was
them.
I was the Santa Fe dude that drove by. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god. Just
I've
like
since traded the Santa Fe in.
the Santa Fe dude to me is just like the pinnacle of like, buddy, you really need to read the room a little bit here.
Yeah.
But
Like,
maybe
Full
no.
of
Okay.
good spirit and good intention. He was
Yes.
trying to help.
Yeah.
Imagine
But
you're
just
in the
like-
Santa Fe and you're driving, looking at pretty lights, and you see
Nice
some
car,
dude on his
comfortable
knee,
car.
right?
Heated
Yeah.
seats.
And you're like,
Yeah.
well, nobody's capturing this. He was trying to help. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Or
Hyundai
she or they
drivers
or-
care. That's why this podcast is brought to you by Hyundai. Hopefully.
I'm pretty sure I've said some things on here that would disqualify me from.
I think we've all said
Hyundai
things on
sponsor.
here.
No, I
that
think
is-
any sponsor we've talked to so far has said, "Can you get rid of Steve?"
That is fair.
No.
In fairness, if you got a sweet enough brand deal, I'd take it.
Well, I'd force you to.
It's right. It's like morals and ethics, okay, but like, give me some coin.
Which actually brings me to our one of our first questions we got. If I can find it here, let's just see here. This is from Christmas Hamilton on Blue Sky, who said, "My question is for Stuart and Lisa. Lisa B. Sorry,
Wait,
Lisa
what the
C.
hell?
It's good. I'm not done with the
I
question
immediately
yet.
feel excluded.
I think that's
Right there, the
idea.
question is the best.
My question is for Stuart and Lisa B. If you had a do-over and could pick any toque-loving teacher from Regina, would you still pick Steve? Asking for a friend.
I don't know a lot of toque-wearing
Ham-
teachers from Regina, so I guess I'd stay with Steve.
I mean, it was really first come, first serve. I think that Christmas Hamilton was busy at the time.
I feel.
We did
and
a open
It's like a
casting
musical
call in
chairs thing.
Saskatchewan. Yeah.
The
Like,
music
I haven't-
stopped. I was.
I have,
pissed.
yeah, I have no proof of this, but I feel like Stuart just sent out a bunch of DMs. And it was like,
Who's going to
first
say
two
yes
that
to this?
The biggest fishing expedition
Yeah.
you've ever seen.
I covered
like,
the entire
okay.
YouTube scene in Saskatchewan in about a minute. It was easy.
Oh
it
no,
was good.
there's like, oh my god. The funniest thing is like Regina has a humongous YouTuber. There's a guy who's got like 1 point some million followers, 1.6,
Okay.
1.7 million followers. His name is Ryan Doka.
Mm-hmm.
And he soaks things in alcohol and then consumes alcohol.
Yes, I love him.
That's his bit. It is the most niche, specific gimmick, and he has been running that gimmick for years.
But
Good for him.
entertainment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People love it.
I don't know how the man takes a disgusting shot like once a week for like a decade, but it's impressive.
It's teeny tiny. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
John in the Facebook comment says, "Today's my birthday. I'm 35 years old. Happy birthday, John."
Happy birthday, John. We won't sing because that's not nice.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know. if we
Except
should
for the
not.
Maybe
singing.
after a little bit more hot chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just looking at other comments before I missed them here. Let's just see here. A mid-sized sedan in a mid-sized town. I like that. That was pretty good.
It's a Hyundai Santa Fe is a mid-size SUV. Damn it!
I think, like Christmas is a time for retelling stories. And
Oh boy.
I know. I want you to describe the definition of a mid-sized town in Saskatchewan again for those who weren't part of that episode. That'd be great.
You know
What's a
what the worst part
mid-sized town in
is?
Saskatchewan?
Okay, I need you to know something about the way that my brain works. After
We're
I
aware.
say something, it's gone. I genuinely do not remember what I said about mid-sized town. I just know I've been getting roasted for it ever since.
With that kind of knowledge, with the
I
fact
have
that you
no
completely
earthly
abandoned everything
idea.
you said, knowledge of what you said, I would have thought maybe Christmas Hamilton was the choice.
Like, genuinely, this mid-sized town thing, I've been getting cooked for it. I'm like, I know I said a really asinine number, and I have no
Do you remember
earthly
Lisa B?
idea
But I
Remember?
don't think it was asinine. I think like you legit.
Oh no, he believed it with his heart.
He believed it was a mid-sized town, and
With his-
so
yeah.
what was it? We were talking about
100
how,
to 200 people.
but we were talking about how towns had amalgamated, right? Because once like the grain
God, I
elevator
genuinely-
disappeared.
In Saskatchewan, that's a medium-sized town. There
No,
is a
not
town-
medium.
There is
No.
a town not too far out of Regina that is like what 35 people. Like
That's not a
most of them
town.
are just little.
That's a village.
That's a hamlet.
If we're being specific, are you really gonna like book? You're gonna like head to like Wikipedia and you're like, actually, it becomes a burg, and then,
Exactly. How many cathedrals do they have, Steve?
Then it
There's
turns
not
why-
a
into
city
a
then.
bedroom community.
Why it was funny though is because when Steve was giving us his story about
My
the
soapbox here.
amalgamations, yeah, and said mid-sized town, Stuart and I just like shot looks at each other like, what did he
You
just
know,
say?
you know,
Mid-sized town.
when everyone in your family just reacts like a family of prairie dogs who heard a loud noise when you say something stupid in a collection of
Weird
people.
Saskatchewan
all
specific
just like-
analogy.
Yes, I live in Saskatchewan. How does this surprise you? Everything
You know that
talk
thing
about
when they're
is
and the prairie dogs
Shakespeare
are
and
cold
numbered
and they come out at
highways.
night? You know that thing?
But
It's
you've
like-
been
just like
outside of
that.
Saskatchewan.
Says you.
Well,
If
Have
you would have
you-
said
I-
raccoons, then
Okay.
maybe we'd know.
Do you genuinely think I leave my basement often? My car's had a flat tire for like a week.
That's
We're just
dangerous.
perpetuating that woke thing, eh? Just perpetuating.
How is it dangerous to have a car sitting in a garage with a flat?
You need to get up and
Because
walk
you might have
around.
to
You're
get
gonna
out
get
of
blood
there.
clots. Jesus.
How far is the nearest hospital to you? Can you walk there? I'm sure you can see it, but can you walk there?
I'll take my scooter.
We're gonna
Honey,
need to get
get
him
on my
compression
back.
socks.
Okay, let's do some actual questions. You ready for some actual questions?
sorry.
All right, here we go. Nikki says on Blue Sky, I've been on the House of Commons website reading about e-petitions. What do you guys know about them? And do you think this is a viable way to be proactive? How come I never hear politicians nor advocates encouraging people to go sign them? I don't know if I agree with Nikki saying,
Okay,
I hear people
I-
wanting to sign stuff all the time.
Yeah.
If you want the easiest illustration of just how cynical these are, I have something I want to show you. It's fantastic.
Is it your proposal video? We just showed it.
No, it is. Here, I'm going to pop it up on the screen so people can
the
see.
transcript.
This is Arnold Vierson's
Oh,
website.
come on. It's
Arnold
Christmas.
Viersen- yeah, this is an Arnold Vierson jump scare. I'm sorry.
Oh, The Grinch. I love this movie.
Arnold Vierson is an Alberta MP for the Conservatives who he advertises 25 signatures is 25 seconds of awareness. So if you give him 25 signatures, he gets 25 seconds on the floor
Does
to
he
yammer.
really?
And yeah. And so he has just, if you're not seeing it at home, if you're listening, there's what, 15, 16 of these probably?
And
Yeah.
just read them. Like they're just.
Oh, they're so bad. Like,
Ew.
like standing up for firearms owners, religious freedoms in India, stop the carbon tax on heating, stop the fertilizer reductions. Like, he's got stop the carbon tax on heating, cancel the carbon tax. Like, it's all.
hunting firearms,
He's got
Yeah.
Bill S10 in 2 different languages.
parental
So-
rights.
Hashtag
His
Trudeau
scheme-
must go, which is pretty funny. It's like, there's a petition for that? I don't think that's going to work, buddy.
But this is it. Is the rules are incredibly thin, and so 25 signatures on one of these e-petitions gets you 25 seconds on the floor. So the idea of a petition is not necessarily a bad idea. But if you're just like, hey, if you can get 25 people to agree with whatever Yahoo thing you can think of, you
Yeah.
get to yammer about it. All
We could
you
do
like.
something right now. Can we submit a petition to his thing right now?
Okay.
We could easily get 25 people. Let's do that right this minute.
Okay, what are we gonna do?
What do we need to
Petition,
do?
What are we gonna
Okay.
do?
Go back
So,
and see what the process is.
I
Let's figure it
appreciate
out.
your excitement, but you need
Oh.
an MP to bring the petition forward. So unless
We've
you
got
know
have
some
somebody-
MPs.
We know some
on
MPs.
hand to bring forward a joke
Jug meat.
petition. He doesn't take our calls.
We've been blocked. We don't get to touch the technique.
Well, that's no fun.
I mean, I had Bossa now, but that went so.
Oh, did he get other
Wah-wah.
Randy?
What? Which Randy? I can't keep up on the Randys.
Oh yeah. My favorite terrible Photoshop I've ever made was Randy Boissona with just a huge curly mustache.
You spent time on that?
No, it was literally just I dragged and dropped the part of a mustache
Don't
onto
undercut
his
your
face.
own efforts, your own
Don't
artistic
drag and
efforts.
drop.
Never
It's okay.
underestimate the power of a man with a Canva account.
Fair.
Lisa C has that tattoo.
I do. I will not be showing it on the stream.
No, because it's super long and it's
Oh.
goes from one end to the other.
Big flouncy letters all down her arms, got musical
It's
notes all
massive.
around
It's
it.
all on Comic Sans as well. That's the worst part.
Okay, well, one of us has to know an MP somewhere that. Liz, we can get Elizabeth May. She likes that.
Oh, Elizabeth, Elizabeth, if you're watching, we need your
love
help.
you.
Yeah. Suddenly your
love you.
phone goes off, Liz.
So to Nikki's question was, how come I never hear politicians or advocates encouraging people to go sign them? So yeah, I do see that. Do we think it's a viable way to be proactive? I don't. I think petitions are dumb. I think they're not the way to do it. I understand you want to do pressure to get your MP to cover stuff and to focus on issues, and I think that's really good and that's important. Petitions make people feel like, well, that's it.
I've done something.
I've done my bit.
But devil's advocate for people who maybe don't know what to do, like it is a way of, participating as long as it's like a reasonable petition. It's not like
So
we want
I
to axe
have
the tax.
a super easy way to fix those petitions, because the actual idea of like
finally.
public voice in the House is good. I don't mind it, but there's a super easy way to fix it. Don't give the parties access to the info. Right now, they're just doing it
Oh,
to
yeah.
harvest contact information.
Oh, absolutely.
That's really all they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, I
And
can't
so
stand
if
that.
you say like, okay, you can. So first of all, raise the threshold maybe from 25 signatures.
Though I do like there's a classified ads appeal to that. 25 signatures equals 25 seconds. It's a low bar of entry. You're like, you know what? Maybe I'm in. It reminds me of the SCTV when they started selling on the TV network. They'd sell classified advertisements on the television network, and it'd be things like, yeah, for $25, I will drive you home. Here's what you get for $25. I will drive you home. I will not explain to your wife and children why you are once again drunk. It's got that nice feel to it.
But we need, I think we need to raise the bar because then Veerson hopefully won't be standing up for
Do you think
75
Pearson
seconds.
is just like weirdly fixated on? He's like, I'm so good. I can say anything in 25 seconds. I'll convince anyone. 25 seconds. That's all I need.
He thinks he's doing the Lord's work.
Lisa C., have you ever signed a petition in your life?
Probably. Yes, I did. Yes.
Do you want to start now?
Lisa C., activist.
No, they were gonna
Maybe.
get rid of Sneaky D's in Toronto, and I signed
Okay.
a petition to make it part of the heritage
Designation.
ordinance of the Kensington Market.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Okay.
I
Let's-
have a far more embarrassing personal history with petitions.
Okay.
I'm literally sitting here like, I'm gonna tell you this, and then you're gonna make fun of me for it for like a year. But it's funny enough that
Probably.
it's worth it. This is what I do for my art.
The sacrifice.
No, so when I was in grade school, I feel like this is like a fairly common like Canadian millennial experience. The Flintstones were on at lunch.
Yes.
You're chilling at lunch and the Flintstones were on.
Doesn't
And
mean anything to
then
Lisa.
One day, the Flintstones weren't on. And I started a petition. 12-year-old Steve
Somebody had to.
started a petition to save the Flintstones. I got, I think, 300 signatures, and then I forgot to send it in.
See, that's my view of many activists.
A very irresponsible 12-year-old.
Get really excited and then
Well,
just
Yeah.
okay, so here's where the problem arose. Who do you send it to? It was on 2 different stations, and like,
both.
what? I didn't have access to Google. It wasn't just like,
Stamps
oh, yeah.
were like 8 cents back then.
Oh, okay. I need you to understand that my parents were encouraging of this up to the point where they had to do anything.
Oh,
So I was
well,
like,
that's-
"Can you
that's
help
most
me
parents.
send this to the global people?" And they're like, "Okay,
That's-
we'll
We'll,
put it in the
we'll put it
global
right in
drawer."
here. Yeah, exactly.
That's just good parenting, though. That's just good parenting. Good parenting is
Supporting up to a
good
point.
for you. Excellent. All right. Oh God, it's time for bed. That's basically it. That's good parenting.
Exactly.
It's
It's all about distraction.
Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. It's slightly
I
disjointed.
know it's so
in the
hard.
comments.
Everybody's just talking. Hold on. There was
Nobody's
one that I thought
talking.
was funny,
How
but
dare
it's
that
not funny.
chat?
You know what I mean.
The very nerve.
I've had some hot
Okay,
chocolate.
So I'm going to ask this question because I know it's going to piss Lisa off. Is
Which
Die Hard a
one?
Christmas movie.
Both.
What was your question?
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Other Lisa?
No.
How can
I
you
know.
not have, it's all about family. It's about getting together. It has
There's
Alan
this
Rickman who looks like he's playing a character that looks like that guy from the Conservative Party. It's
I
great.
miss Alan Rickman. This is my theory. It is put forth as a Christmas movie so that boys can watch it at Christmas
don't.
and still pretend like they're part of the festivities. That's what I think.
Okay.
Yippee ki
I know.
I-
Say it. Say it.
First of
I can
all,
say. I can
I'm
say
going
it.
to con-
Baby
I'm going to
Jesus is
contest.
listening.
It's not a Christmas movie on the basis that it came out in July, but it has become a Christmas movie
Oh.
because it's an annual tradition to argue about it.
Okay. Well, that's fair. That
well-
I'll.
Lisa
Is
C,
that-
please.
So is it not a horror movie if it comes out in January? I don't think I understand your logic.
Oh.
Fight. Fight.
Fight,
Fight.
Fight, fight, fight,
A
fight,
Christmas
fight.
movie if it came out in July.
So
because they-
Okay,
but they
name
do,
one other
though.
Christmas movie that came out.
You
in
never heard
July
of Christmas
and
in July?
Christmas in July.
Very popular phrase.
That's not.
I have to
Come
Google.
on, that's an exception.
All right, I got another
Exception
question.
that proves the rule.
I've got another
I don't
question
think so.
from online, and we'll all just agree that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Obviously.
Hold on. Sorry. Home Alone premiered November 10th,
Which is not July.
Which is not
But it's
July.
which is not Christmas.
It's not even Thanksgiving
You're
in the
going to
U.S.
suggest to me that November 10th, debuting a movie at November 10th is not the Christmas season, really.
By
They're
your
like,
it's
we're
not
gonna
the
get
Christmas
in the-
season.
We're going to get in the theaters, and then we're going to shut that down right December 1st. It's out. We got to
The
make
general
way
rule.
for Prince
Hold
of
on.
Egypt.
The general rule in Canada is after November 11th. The general rule in the U.S. is after Thanksgiving, and so this is neither. This is neither. I'm just going by your logic, Steve.
I just want to update everyone here. I've been wondering about the count because the count on the live stream is wonky on Riverstream, but Riverstream, what's it called? Riverside.
Stream.
Riverstream would be that's my new venture. Hey, coming this January, Riverstream.
By Riddle North
BS.
Star.
Okay. Can I drop my favorite Die Hard fact? Well,
No, not yet. Wait, I'm trying to tell you a fact which you'll enjoy.
Go ahead.
There's over 1,500 people watching currently.
Ooh.
There you
Hello,
go.
1,500 people. Do you all want to hear a Die Hard fact?
You know what's funny is that like I know that in like
I didn't hear
out
it.
there. See, now you wish the chat was
No, go
chatting.
ahead, please,
Aha!
please. What's your fact? I love
Oh,
the fact.
it's John McTiernan, the director, quite proudly declared that he based it off of Shakespeare. It's a Shakespearean comedy, specifically Midsummer Night's Dream.
What isn't based off Shakespeare nowadays?
Yeah, exactly.
So, to quote,
There's nothing new anymore.
Oh, he's looking. He's looking at one of his monitors. That's when you tell we're in for the soap
I
box.
basically
18
structured it as a
monitors.
comedy. It was actually Midsummer Night's Dream. That is, something happens on a festival night that turns the world upside down, and all the princes become asses, and all the asses become princes. In the morning, the true lovers are reunited, and everyone goes on, but the world is better than it was the night before.
Well,
I'm sorry,
that's
on
a
a
bit of
festival
a
night?
stretch.
Yeah.
Sounds like Christmas. Sounds like Christmas movie.
Sorry, I just read one of the comments that made me chuckle. I'm honestly surprised Steve hasn't started a chat poll.
I don't have the power.
Nobody has the power here.
I know, it's just funny.
So when disagreed with generally on Twitch, I start a poll in the chat, and it generally goes poorly for me.
Oh, does it? No.
Well, I think you should
course.
take this time because I'm drinking beer. I have to go pee. So I'm going to do that now. You can talk about your poll.
I'm gonna
No,
leave this.
don't make any jokes.
Oh, it's so hard not to.
I'm just sitting here drinking my nog.
Oh my god.
My non-dairy. It's a
God.
non-dairy nog beverage, which is
Thank you.
just the most encouraging thing to see.
Your
I
household
can't-
thanks you.
So I am quite delighted by the fact that in French it is chicken milk rather than eggnog, which always
I
makes
know.
me happy. And so in my Twitch or in my Discord, we generally find it quite funny that chicken milk is the thing, and so we actually created. I'm going to show you here. We created an entire emote just for chicken milk. so if
Chicken
you ever
milk?
need a chicken milk graphic, just let me know, and we got you covered.
Might put
That's
that on, like,
terrifying.
thing.
Just feathers and all, just grinding it up. Sorry, vegans. If any of you are watching.
Have you ever made homemade eggnog?
No.
You will have the experience of like, why have I drank this before?
Oh no, I don't want to know
Just-
what's in it.
There's a big
No.
glass of cream and eggs.
Yeah, but that's the old, like the old school eggnog with the raw eggs and stuff like that. No,
Chicken
no,
milk is like an Always Sunny bit with their like fight milk.
Oh right, fight milk. That's yeah. Although
need
wasn't
some
that
fight
just grain
milk.
alcohol mixed with milk?
no. That'll make you fight.
I mean, yeah. I mean that's what I take in my eggnog, obviously. Although I feel
God,
like
that's
eggnog
funny.
is one of those things that people are just pretending to like butter tarts.
Fuck you.
Butter tarts. Oh,
I was just waiting for him to get the earbuds.
the one earbud in, eh?
How dare you? This is a perfect opportunity for me to tell people that if you're in Stratford, Ontario tomorrow, please come join me for a Christmas tasting of S&G Sex and Gold Butter Tart flavored vodka at Junction 56 Distillery in Stratford, Ontario from 12 to 1. Come meet me. Take a picture of me holding a bottle of S&G that you'll buy. Thank
He
you.
just goes right into it. Like,
Oh my god, the plug.
oh, I'm gonna
There you
need
go.
that. I'm
See,
gonna
it's
need
even
that.
signed.
Okay. I'm writing it down.
Hey, wait, Lisa C.
Please tell me you handed it to her signed. You were like, this is for you.
We didn't know each other when I bought this.
No, exactly. She was just like, this guy's super cool, and he's got vodka, I'm in.
How have I never seen this before?
So turn it on its turn
Wait,
to
you
the
didn't know
sides, you
about
get
the
to see
butter tart vodka?
No.
There's
Oh,
my,
yeah.
my signature is printed on the label as well. Other side. That's right. Keep turning.
So if
There
you need
go.
to forge any documents, you know how.
That's how
Do
I
you
sign
put a
my
big
checks
star
with a
on
star
bank
and
documents?
a star and a B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if Santa washed his hands, but whatever.
Santa washes his hands. Santa's hands are damp.
That's how you know.
Hide them
That's
after
how you know.
I've got another question. Let's get back to some serious discussion.
People are waiting for these answers. Okay.
All right, here we exactly.
Inquiring
This
minds
is a
wanna
very
know.
interesting question. It's a little bit of a not a heavier tone, but it's a good question. When are you three leaving Twitter? Do you feel you are contributing to a cause which you are apparently also fighting against? I think that's a good question.
So I only go on Twitter.
That was
to
Philippe,
just-
by the way. Sorry.
Oh, hi, Philippe. Merci.
Philippe.
I only go on Twitter just to kind of see the shit show. Haven't really posted a lot on Twitter, but it's like a car crash. I have to go back every once in a while, but I don't monetize on Twitter, so I don't care to go back. I like where the skies are blue much better.
I
You're allowed to
keep-
say blue sky here.
Blue sky.
I keep Twitter around entirely just because, like, it's the same way that you like regularly peek out your window at your crazy neighbors, where you're like, I'm gonna just keep a half an eye on what's going on over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what individuals I want to pick fights with on occasion. But really, like, I've largely abandoned it. Like, in all honest truth, if I post to Twitter, you can be 100% certain that I thought I was posting to Blue Sky and only half paying attention.
Yeah.
How about you, Stuart?
I'm still there. It's my second largest audience. It's the most engagement I usually get. However, with the caveat that literally since the U.S. election, it's hemorrhaging followers for sure. But also even the trolls aren't. I noticed that there used to be a couple of accounts that would like every single post I'd make. They'd make an effort to like view the video and then leave some diatribe
You
about
just,
why
like,
it was so
Yeah.
horrendous.
Joker without your Batman? It's like,
Yes, exactly.
It's not the same without them.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And I've noticed in the past like week or two, maybe, that they're gone. They're just gone. And it's like, okay. I mean, I never got engaged with them. I never
No.
got into a dialogue. I'm not Steve Boots. And yeah.
Fighting
it's
block.
just-
Fighting
but I
block.
mean,
Fighting block.
I'm at a point now where it's like if I could find the same audience on Blue Sky or actually just Blue Sky, because even I think Threads is
I think-
Facebook.
Threads missed their chance.
Yeah.
I agree.
They had a chance, and boy, did they miss it.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Lisa
think
C?
I think
Sorry,
Blue,
go ahead.
sorry, I think Blue Sky just needs to like. I think it's just caught in the fact that so many people are joining. But I think if there are more availability to do more things on Blue Sky, then I think the migration will be easy for everybody.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
to monetize is what.
Mon-
I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm
but,
not sure
like,
you're going to be able to
Twitter was-
monetize the same way though. It's decentralized. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
also Twitter was pretty useless for monetization post a couple of months post Elon, basically. Like,
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I barely covered the cost of premium most months. Like, it was.
it was
not-
a huge part of our income for years. Like
I
for
refuse.
6 years.
Yeah, I refuse to give Elon 1 penny. That's why I was like, fuck it.
So when
So
you get an
I-
Uber, do you like refuse?
I
if
don't
it's
get
a
an Uber.
Tesla? You don't get
I don't get
Ubers?
it. No, but I do flip off Teslas now.
Seems
I
harsh.
initially refused to give Elon money, but then I was like, wait a minute, I'm making him the content. He's already making the money, so long as I take out more than I put in, I'm all right. here.
Fair. That's fair.
That was my mindset. But there's always people who are like, you pay for Twitter. It's like, really, they're paying me.
Yeah, and it's also the cost of doing business,
shot.
right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, 1 month I made $4 whole.
See?
Like, literally.
I'm missing out. I missed
like,
out on my
it'd
chance.
be like, you got a bazillion impressions and made $14. And
What's
it
interesting
costs
to me is
12.
that Lisa C is a cusper. She's in between Gen Z and Gen Z and millennials, and
we call those cuspers.
we call them cuspers. In Canada, they're called coffee cuspers, and you can't get them in the States. And like for example, our youngest son Gregor, who's 22, was saying last night that he's like Twitter has become his new thing of like he can't stop scrolling. He hates the fact that he can't stop scrolling, but there's like constantly content and none of it's really that good. But it's like there's almost like a hope that there's going to be something good in the next push, the next refresh, that type of thing. Is Twitter for Lisa C? Has it ever been a thing for you at all?
I'm on there to engage with your posts.
Aww, what a suck up. We're still laying you off over Christmas.
I'm
Jackass.
not on there too much, but when I am, it's passively. I don't really post. Sometimes I'll retweet something, but it's usually
Right.
a cat meme or something.
Do you guys all find though that like even when you do post, engagement is way down?
Oh
Oh,
my God, tremendously.
part of the reason why I like to go onto Twitter is to just see what my following count has gone down to, right? Because it just like is
Yeah.
dropping in succession, which I'm like, yes, but
Honestly,
yeah, it's
my Blue Sky. I didn't even hit 1,000 followers until probably 3 years ago on Twitter, and then it kind of took off. But I'm gonna I've only been on Blue Sky for maybe a month, and I'm gonna outpace my Twitter probably next week. Like Blue Sky's just growing like crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not there yet for sure. I see
Well,
a
yeah,
Tom
but you're
clicks.
also a Twitter icon.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean,
just
come
an
on.
Icon. It's just an icon in general, really. Like a mid-size icon.
Look, man, do you get mildly do you get mildly recognized?
Man, do you get
Do you ever
Shut
have a
up,
feeling
Lisa. He's
that-
talking about how
Do you ever
successful
get
I am.
mildly recognized at the airport in the way that they look at you a whole bunch but never actually interact with you? Where they're just
All
like,
the time,
"know
and
that
I can
guy."
definitely tell. We actually dipped people yesterday
the
because they kept
worst.
turning around. And I was like, I can't. I don't mind. I love when people come up and say hello and they say nice things and they
Highs,
say
same.
that guy.
Highs are delightful. It's the look. You're just
But
like,
it's the look, and it's like I don't want to be like, because I've had people before go, do I know you from somewhere? And I'd be like, and my joke is always, do you have the internet? And they go, no, that's not it.
It's kind of a dick move.
Loblaws? Is it from Loblaws?
No.
And you're like,
that is the most embarrassing moment of your life when somebody goes, I recognize you from somewhere, and you're like, I'm like pretty big on the internet, and they're like, no, I
No,
know.
No, no,
that's not
no,
it.
no, no.
And you're just like,
But then the whole time they go through different options. You're like, it's from the internet. You know me from the internet, from your phone.
They're like,
when
no,
you're on
no,
the
it
toilet."
was the it was the foot fungus commercial. That's who
Exactly.
he is.
Exactly. Exactly. Poorly. Let's tell a little story about that. We won't disparage the brand, of course, and there's no reason to disparage the brand.
No, it's a good commercial.
we're not disparaging the brand, we're disparaging you.
But there was because Lisa C edited that commercial for us, and they loved it. It was great. But the first edit pass that Lisa did for us, she sent back, and she was like, "How's this?" And I was like, "Why have you indiscriminately blurred my feet in every shot?" I felt insulting.
I'm trying
She's trying to protect
save
your
some
virtue
people from
for when you start your OF,
Yeah,
Well-
you gotta pay for that content,
right?
Well, I appreciate the hustle. I like that. I like that. Appreciation for the hustle for sure. Exactly. But I felt a little hurt at first. I was like, oh. So I was
So,
already self-conscious about it.
did the images of your feet eventually get published? Because if so,
What's your
I
wiki?
need
We've been
you to
shopping
know.
them. We've been shopping them
I
around.
need
Yeah.
you to know that there are
Yeah.
websites that catalog those. It
Oh,
is-
there are. Yeah. Wiki
Oh yeah,
feet.
do not
Yeah,
put your feet on the
Wiki feet.
internet.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Or get paid.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
It's not for free.
Yeah. Yeah, not for free. Exactly. Why give it away? Little taster every now and then? Sure. Why not?
Yeah. You want to show
Maybe
a
a
little
sandal
skin and a
shot?
foot fungus
Mama's got to
ad?
make some money.
That's
Yeah.
right. Sock just kind of half on, half off. that
Yeah.
type of thing.
Just,
You know,
just
exactly.
dangling out of your shoe. Yeah.
You can see
It's all very distressing. I think we answered the Twitter question pretty well, don't you think? I think we did. a pretty
Oh,
good job.
obviously. I remember what it is too.
It's only 6 minutes ago. I would hope so.
I'm going to ask another question here that's on Blue Sky. This is a good question from Andrew Smith. Do you all think, and I'll say y'all,
Y'all.
because I
Y'all.
don't like y'all very much, but
Yeah, y'all.
I will be going to the U.S. soon, so I'll get into the practice of it. Do y'all think the right-wing governments in Canada, Alberta, Ontario, Saskatchewan specifically, which covers all corners of Podcast is Broken.
All corners of Podcastria.
Do you think those right-wing governments in Canada will benefit from a Trump presidency, or be hurt as voters begin to see what mess he causes? This is assuming it is as bad as expected, and so far so good. Good question.
I think they're going to be hurt because I don't think there is no allegiance amongst those
No.
kinds of conservatives, right? And so I think Trump is flexing, as we're seeing, and our, well, at least my alt-wrong provincial government is jumping. But I don't think it's going to get them anything. I really don't. And I think they're going to be upset and the chagrin of not getting what they want and free-flowing oil from Alberta right to some tap in the U.S. And they're going to be just clutching their pearls, and it'll serve them right.
Well, this is it. We're gonna get like very serious all of a sudden here, but a lot of these sort of different arrangements.
Do I
are
take
very-
my ears off?
But in the minds of someone like a Donald Trump, and in the minds of a lot of these sort of hardline, very traditionalist conservatives, their support and their cooperation is extremely transactional. They are only nice to you. They only work with you as long as you've got something they want. And so now it's going to get muddled because we do have something they want. Something like 80 some odd % of our oil gets exported to the States, and most of our national refining capacity is actually just the States. So we need them, they need us, and so I really think a lot of this is going to wind up being bluster, because like Donald Trump is now, he's starting to admit that like, yeah, well, maybe the tariffs are going to screw up our economy a little bit, but like, yeah, it's fine. Right? Like it's one of those things though where all of these Western premiers started out thinking, well, if we just praise Trump and talk about how awesome he is, he'll give us everything he wants.
Right?
And so
Right.
I actually think the one who's woken up to it is Scott Moe. I think he figured it out quicker than most.
You've been a big
He's-
fan of Scott Moe's for a long time, though.
You know what? I need you to know how much it pains me to say something nice about Scott Moe. He is handling this correctly.
Yeah, I think so too. Same with
So-
Doug
Yeah.
Ford.
He's
Yeah,
well,
Ford,
so
I-
Mo, no, I disagree with the Ford thing. Like the threatening to cut off energy, that's just goading Trump on. What Mo has been doing, he's got really strong relationships with a bunch of the northern governors, like North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana. He's got really good connections with them already, and he's mobilizing those. He's building allies within the states to push against Trump.
Right.
And
That's
Trudeau is
clever.
supporting and endorsing it. And it's like, oh my God, he did something right. It hurts my head. Like I've got an ice cream headache thinking about it.
He's allowed one every, like,
Like
Yeah.
broken
10
clock
years.
twice a day, right? But
Yeah.
like, I think,
Well, I think
I do genuinely think a big part of it is because he just won. This is the longest possible time before he needs to win another election. So he can put the game down for a second and actually do some work.
So Lisa C, tell me, because you're by far the youngest person here, mainly just compared to me and Lisa B.
yeah.
But apart from the podcast, are you aware of any of this stuff happening at all? Like apart from your editing time? No,
Are
I
we
don't
your
mean that as an
education?
insulting way.
No,
But
no,
I mean,
it's
like in general, because I've asked people who are in their 20s before, and you're not in your 20s anymore. You're quite old. But
For those watching at home, the facial expressions just says it all.
I think she's doing great for her age.
Okay.
She says the same about you, Stuart.
I know. At least I got a shot fired back. That's it.
He's gonna jump on the 401 to the 416 to the 430 and kick your ass.
Straight through
edit you
Kingston and
out.
Oshawa.
This whole podcast is just gonna be three of us. You're not gonna be in it. Sorry.
Just the two Lisas.
I've seen the quality of the show so far in the first hour. That's okay. That's
We'll
all
leave
right.
Steve's proposal video in, but
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, in the many attempts to start it.
Went
But
so smoothly.
that's
I've
the only
talked to a
part I'm
number
gonna
of
leave in.
people who are like 30 and under, which would include you, they aren't necessarily as aware of what's happening. I feel like sometimes, like especially like Steve and Lisa B and I are like so nose to the grindstone, so like buried in all this stuff all the time. And I'm wondering what's hitting outside. Like apart from the podcast, do you hear any? Like, do you and your friends sit down and talk about Polyev?
No, but I will tell you this time of year, I definitely have to brush up because it'll come up at family
Oh,
Christmas
really?
dinners, and I need to have my rebuttals ready. So
Yeah.
Like dinners
But
with
I mean-
peers, like people your age?
no, like my family.
No, your family. Well,
Oh, yeah.
That's different. They're old.
Dinners-
Just no
Yeah.
cards and prayers. Just-
No, I mean, like, I don't find my friend groups, and I get overly political. Like when Trump won the election, that was obviously something that would come up. But I mean, like, at least if I'm comparing the pockets of political discussions I have in my life, like, I find, the people I surround myself with, and we're all kind of on the same page. But then, when I go home for the holidays, we're not so much. But I find that each generation is just so used to talking to people who are on the same page that it just sort of
Right.
there's an impasse
Yeah.
that we hit.
So what page
Um,
are the young people on?
Uh, I mean, the side that benefits us maybe one day owning a house and affording
Right.
health.
So who's
fair.
that in Canada?
So
So
currently?
what is that? Yeah, what is that
Yeah.
side? We're confused.
Not Polyev.
None of the above.
As
Um,
long as it's not
Polyev,
Polyev, that's good. Yeah.
I would
But,
love for it to
like,
be someone.
This is
haven't
what I
seen it
yell
yet.
about all the time, though. Is like these parties need to focus on like material conditions of people's lives and not just like
Mhm.
we are slightly more feminist than the others.
Yeah,
And it's like
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
nobody cares. Give them a house, please. They just need somewhere to live.
Give them a
Free
house.
house for
Just
everybody.
shut them up. Just give them a
So-
fucking suburban somewhere. It's fine.
Okay, here's the thing. Everybody, like, you say something as simple as like give them a house, and they're like, "Oh, you couldn't possibly do that." Yeah, except like we're way ass-kickingly better than the Soviet Union. They did it. So like, why can't
I get.
we?
I think people will immediately get their backs up a little bit when you say, "Yeah, the Soviet Union did it." I think that's a weird line.
Okay.
Soviet Union did a lot of things
Genuinely-
that we don't want to do here.
Okay,
still doing-
here's my deal though.
doing a lot of things
If
we don't
people
necessarily want
genuinely
to do.
think, oh, sorry, go ahead, Lisa. I didn't hear you.
Sorry, he's just stalling all over you there.
No,
No,
I
I
just-
said I think they're still doing things that not a lot of us want to emulate at the moment. Go
No,
ahead.
Exactly.
not at all.
Yeah,
but
that's
I
true,
genuinely
exactly.
do believe that like there are a lot of people who think that the Soviet Union was like this incredibly backwards place and really hold it as that in their heads.
Wow, this is gonna be the clip.
And then it's like, okay, yeah, but they did build housing for a huge amount of their population, and somehow a much wealthier, much more developed capitalist nation can't figure it out.
Because
Yeah,
that was
but-
communism, okay? And the problem is that the same people who are bitching and moaning about our kids can't afford houses are also the same ones that don't like socialism or communism, right? And so that's
Yes.
the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
nobody
agree.
agrees
And
with
I
me.
mean,
Like he doesn't want
I
to
think-
agree with me. Yeah.
No, I know
sort
you're
of-
right, and
Yeah.
this is it. Is like, as long as people are just stuck in like shuffling these tiny little pieces of like, oh well, if we reduce the taxes on this portion of the commodification of housing just a tiny little bit, that's going to fix everything. It's like, is it?
Not so much, yeah.
So I was gonna say about just as quickly before we move on, and yeah, is like the Soviet Union housing. Sure, they built a tremendous number of houses. Were any of them great? I don't
Are
know.
they better than living in an encampment?
Without question, they are for sure.
Exactly.
However, would they be better than the suburbs? I don't know.
But see, and that's the
Yes.
argument, right? Because I'm going to say the people who want to buy a house are going to be like, I don't want that house. I
Yeah,
live in that.
yeah,
Right? And then you'll have people saying, well, how come that built house is nicer than my house? Like, this is what we live in, right? This is what we live in.
So, Lisa, do you think you're ever gonna buy a house? Not on
Not
these
in this
current
economy.
wages for me, that's for sure.
As
For
for
my surviving age at the moment, having no full time job currently, so yeah, no.
Yeah.
definitely not.
no pressure.
No,
This seems
I mean, if only we
pressure
could have
on me,
words with your employer.
I've tried.
yeah. I'm one of many employers she has.
Don't threaten to unionize because he will shut it all down.
I will shut this down. I will shut down the internet so fast.
I know several people who are in my same boat right now from different companies. It's kind of just a thing right now. There's a lot of people. I've been laid off like for most of this year from two different companies. So
I think that's a really big problem right now. Like even thinking about the Canada Post strike and stuff, and how the government says put a pin in it, and we're going to go back to work and all that kind of stuff. And it's too late for Christmas, obviously, but they're going to take a month to catch up.
Go back on strike
And-
when you have way less leverage. It'll go great.
Yeah. However, I mean, there's a balance there as well where with the Canada Post strike, where it's like I'm fully supportive of the idea of the workers striking and all that kind of stuff, and that's a very tough thing for me to say. I'm not. It's not that tough, actually. It's very easy for me to say.
Too late.
That's clip sound clip. But it's a case of like then the thing that bothers me the most, and the thing that's most I'm on their side with, is that there's too many part-time jobs and not enough full-time jobs. And there's a big push for like Canada Post to do part-time jobs. There's a big push from like grocery stores to do part-time jobs. It's like I want to go. I think about a memory from my childhood, and there was a grocery store across from where I grew up, and like a small supermarket.
Took the horse and buggy
we'd go
there.
over there.
It was great.
There's a horse and buggy. You got to milk your own milk.
Oh, they had just barrels of loose unwrapped candy.
They did actually. They did have loose unwrapped candy.
Penny
it was a
candy
mid-sized
actually
town.
cost a penny.
Exactly. Well, they did, Steve.
Okay, shut up,
did.
Steve. You're making him feel bad.
No, I feel nostalgic now. But there would be people who would be like, say, cashiers or checkout cashiers at the supermarket, and that was their job. They worked 40 hours a week. That was their job, and they were invested. They were proud of their job. They took pride in what they did and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying like one of the biggest problems I think with like the argument for Soviet Union housing is that the idea that people are good. People aren't good. Not everyone's good. Lots of people are terrible and useless.
Disagree.
I appreciate that.
I think you can't build a better world if you're not optimistic about people. I really don't think you
I
can.
think you're so cute.
No, I just like I think you have to be optimistic about people and you have to believe in people's better nature, because if you put individual people in a room and with a person from whatever group it is they think that they hate or disagree with or whatever, and you give it enough time, they'll likely find common ground. Like people
Or
aren't
one of them will be
just
dead. Yeah.
evil, monstrous people. But you also got to remember, I spent 17 years of my life teaching middle school, talking to kids and finding out that every single one of those kids, without exception, and I taught some kids were very big handfuls, every single one of them was a fundamentally good human being.
Sure, I agree with
Of
that.
course, yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
what do you really believe that fundamental goodness somehow gets like, what, evaporates somewhere between
No,
there
but I
and
feel
30?
as soon as you introduce the element of competition, even if the slightest element of competition, someone is going to take advantage of someone else.
Have you seen
Guaranteed.
Squid
Ooh,
Game?
so what you're saying
that,
is it's
Lisa?
some form of communism.
So have you seen Squid Game?
I don't know what the words you said were.
Squid Game.
Squid Game.
Squid Game. Oh, okay. Yes, it's going to be like Squidward. God, someone's bringing up SpongeBob.
Yes,
That's what I
absolutely.
said. Yeah.
No, I don't think. I think that I feel that the problem is as soon as you introduce an element of competition and potential advantage, human nature will take that advantage and they will run with it. And that's when the unfairness happens. That's when the utopian ideal of Soviet Union housing comes into play, where it's like, this isn't going to work for everybody. This isn't, because some people are going to by nature not going to work as hard as other people. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's just the nature of human beings.
Oh, that's a long one. We could talk about how some people just don't work as hard as other people if you like. Probably the best place to talk about it is some cabin country area where you can see all the wealthy people frolicking on their jet boats. Where that's probably a good situation in which to discuss who works hard and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
but
I
here's
think
the
this
thing.
is
Here's the
gonna turn
thing.
into a fight.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I want to believe in the goodness of people. I think we're jaded because of the venues that we use and in platforms that we use in talking, where we tend to see the negative, right? And every once in a while we'll see something good and it kind of like goes, oh, okay, well, people aren't all bad. But I think we've gotten to a point where people are just at a base level selfish, right? Like, I mean, even I'm
Sure.
selfish. Like, perfect as I am, even I'm selfish.
It's weird.
I know. And yes, you can put a bunch of people in a room and eventually they'll find common ground. But there's still going to be those differences, those fundamental differences, right? And there are things that, we don't compromise on. We don't compromise on human rights. We don't compromise on all those things. But there are people who will never see things the way that you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the community with which we live in, right? And
So-
so those are the people that are like, yeah, get rid of the encampments, but I don't want,
Yeah.
cost efficient housing in my neighborhood, like those kinds of things, right?
I get your point, but I'm like a very strident believer in the idea of precursor behavior. When people do things that seem bad or harmful or don't make sense or that don't seem to serve their best interests, there's always a larger question to ask of like, how did they get that way?
Sure.
Oh,
How did they wind
100%.
up in that place? And so like this is why I get stuck in this fundamental optimism about people. Is because if you zoom out far enough, you'll see how that person got there. Whether you think they're horrible or not, like if somebody's got the F Trudeau stickers all over their truck, okay? What, like, there's some, like, let's be serious about it for a moment. There's some sort of deep pain in that person. Something's gone wrong. That they have defined their entire identity by how much they hate a man who doesn't know they exist.
Sure. Yeah. It's just
And-
everyone wants to belong. That's my thing with that. Is everyone wants to be part of something.
Yeah, and this is exactly my point, is I think even you can look at somebody like that with the fundamental human optimism, because why does somebody cover their truck and all that stuff? Why does somebody go to a convoy? It's because they need to feel like they're a part of something. They are alienated in so many different ways. They need to feel like what they're doing matters, like they have some say in what's happening to their lives. And so, yeah, it doesn't come out in a constructive way, but the feeling is valid.
Yeah,
Soapbox complaint.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But the same argument can be applied to the people that are frolicking in jet skis. There's a reason that they're that way. It's not always good.
Yes, because they're not human. Come on now.
No, but it's that idea.
It's like, but.
It's the idea that anyway. It all boils down to the fact that you're wrong and you can't trust people. People are terrible.
Tough
That's it,
but fair.
basically. Yeah, tough but fair. And that's our Christmas message for Podcast is Broken. People are terrible.
Except us,
Happy
we're great.
holidays, everybody. Oh my God.
I'm just going through the comments. So we got Tonglek says, "You're not being ridiculous, but I wouldn't stress too hard. Politicians are a lot of hot air and not saying anything of substance." I can't scroll any further than this. There we go. Oh, this is as far as it goes.
Linda made a good point. What makes it difficult to be positive about people is people.
Who said that? I agree.
So,
Linda.
Here's the thing, though. I do believe that, especially for like a middle school teacher, you need to be the most stubborn human being when it comes to just like, nah, they're good. They're a good person. I swear to God, they're a good person.
Oh, I think
They
kids
did
are
this-
great.
They
I
did
think kids
the
are
most
amazing.
bonehead thing imaginable, but they're a good person.
Yeah. But I agree. I think kids are great, and I think that there's lots of reasons for kids to turn into bad adults. But kids in general, awesome. They're great, and I mean, especially with teaching. I only taught for one semester, but I remember thinking you could easily tell that
Kids are great, which is why I got out after 4 months.
I got out because of the teachers.
Because of the union. That's got out because of the union.
They
I
made
got
me
out
sign
because of
the
the union
card.
as well. The union and the other teachers. That's why I got out. It's literally the truth. But the kids were fantastic. But if you realize that the kids are such the subjects of their environment and what they're given and how they're cared for and how they're taken care of, and who their parents are and who their families are and all that kind of stuff, and all those views that get sort of baked into those kids. By the time they become adults, it's like, well, this is just reality to me. This is just but kids on their own, amazing. Kids are fantastic. Even like right up to like 18-year-olds, they're great. They're just good kids.
So as soon as they can vote, then they're just jerks.
Then they're
Then they
idiots.
I-
They're total
okay.
idiots.
This is like I got the greatest illustration ever. One of the first like parent nights that I had at the school that I was working at. I had this one kid in my class who was he was a good kid, but he just like really needed to be the center of attention. Like, you know, those kids, I feel like we were all
We know those kids.
We are those kids.
as we have our podcast.
Exactly.
But I will never forget, this kid's dad came, and about halfway through the night, he's like, the kid's like, you should come say hi to my dad. And he brings me over. His dad is hanging upside down from the monkey bars by his legs and demanding that everybody look at him. And it was just one of those moments like, oh, yeah, this all makes a lot of sense now.
Wait, the dad was?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The dad was hanging upside down on the monkey bars?
He's
Yes,
making
a
the parallel
man-
between the fact that the child needed all this attention in class,
Yes.
but then the dad's hanging on the monkey
Correct.
bar saying, look at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I am well aware of the fact that in so much as I don't want to say judge, but I'm curious as to how people, let's say on the opposite side, got to where they are. I know that they think the exact same thing of us, right? People want like social services for everybody. You know, what happened in their lives?
Sure. Sure.
So the question needs to be when we have people on polar extremes, because we're not going to change them, they're not going to change us, right? Like there's just not enough manpower to be able to do that. How do we get to a point or a place where there's like similarity of caring about something? And that's where the people suck come in. Because
I think it goes to demonstrable benefit to society. That's the key, is that the idea that things get better. And I'm somewhat of a believer. I don't believe the market should be left to be a free market. I think that's ridiculous. I think that people, because again, people are horrible.
Sounds a downright socialist of you.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I told you, one sandwich and away from being communist and gay. One
Yeah.
good sandwich.
So then you could get the Soviet housing. Life would be good.
No, it wouldn't be good. It would be terrible, because there'd always be someone who would take advantage of that system. That's the problem. Is that the
And
humans
nobody
are the
takes
problem.
advantage of capitalism whatsoever.
No, they do as well. You're totally right. They absolutely do. There needs to be a balance. There needs to be a middle line where you need to take care of people because it has a beneficial impact on society. It's like people who complain about not paying school board taxes in municipalities
Yeah,
because they
I
don't
love
have
those.
kids. And it's like, what are you talking about, man? Like, you live in the city. You don't want to have live in a city with educated kids? Like, are you
Yeah,
insane?
It's like they expect to be sitting in a dentist chair and being like, hey, where'd you go to school? And they're like, school?
Cool. No.
I just watch this on YouTube, open wide.
Yeah, it's probably fine. I don't have kids. Yeah.
Anyway, people are terrible. That's our Christmas message again.
Yeah.
If you're missing that out.
I think the way you fix it, I don't know if it's necessarily about focusing on the material conditions directly as much as it's focusing on values. We need politicians who actually believe in something. Like when it comes to basically any policy from any party, at this point, like I look at it and I go, what do they actually stand for on this? What do they actually believe in? What is the actual core value in forming in this? The answer is almost always nothing. And so it's like, just believe something. I'll disagree with you. That's fine. Believe something.
Okay, but like I believe that Mr. Poilievre believes
Don't
in
make his
axing
name
the
fancy, because he doesn't make his name fancy.
Okay, well,
Shannon
Jeff.
was like, you got to say it right. And we listened to him say it, and it's like, he doesn't make it fancy.
It all
yeah.
depends on if he's trying to get votes in Quebec that day.
Yeah,
Okay, but that's the thing though, because even Trudeau,
Pierre Poilievre.
you can't even say that right. But like it is Poilievre, but even Trudeau doesn't say it in French,
No.
right? And so
Yeah.
okay, I guess I'll okay, but I believe that Pierre believes those things. I really do. Yeah, I do. For gain, I think he believes it for gain, right?
I think he is the most student government person in the history of the universe. Man cares about nothing but power.
Yes.
He has more of a comment than a question, and he wants everyone to know.
That was it? That was your point, Lisa?
I don't know. I forgot what my point was.
I thought I was the only person drinking.
What were we talking about? No, we're all drinking. What was You're
Lisa
nogging.
C's not drinking.
I am.
It's
Yes,
not
she
eggnog, though.
is,
It's
remember?
seasonal festive
okay.
non-dairy
How
nog.
dare you?
Chicken milk. Sorry,
Sorry.
How dare you accuse me of not drinking?
Sorry. J'accuse.
J'accuse.
Wild
Linda
elegance
Comments
of sobriety.
on YouTube said, "How do you teach empathy?" Which kind of speaks to Steve's point about values and that type of thing. And I still don't see that as the way forward, because it's just not going to work. But you have to present things like the dental care program and school lunches for kids, it's like, this is going to make your life better. Even if you don't have a kid, even if you don't have teeth, this is going to make your life better because you're going to have to look at people smiling and they're going to have normal
With
teeth,
teeth.
which is great. And you're going to talk to kids, interact with kids, and they're going to be fed and they're not going to try to stab you. That's good. This is all good. I think it has to be demonstrable benefit to the society. I think that's the key. That has to be the key.
Well, I think you're right, and I think part of that
That's enough, Steve. That's
is-
enough. That you think I'm right. That's good.
Got it there.
No, there's no second part where I disagree with you slightly here.
Okay, good.
I'm building on it. Don't worry.
But fuck.
I agree with you, and
There we go.
I think it illustrates the need for universality. Like I was talking about the universal dental plan in my stream the other day, and I was like, okay, chat, who here has access to the universal dental plan? And the answer was none of them. Oh, one. There was one out of like
Right.
probably 150 people. And so
You have a
yeah,
largely toothless audience, though. So
it's because it's primarily seniors and young people, and I have a audience of people who watch politics on Twitch, which is neither of those two things.
right.
So, but like what
Oh
it
my
comes down
God.
to is like those people's votes likely aren't going to be moved because they haven't been affected by it. And so you got to cast a wide net on this stuff. The liberals especially are like they do this hyper targeted thing where they're like, well, we need the 18 to 24 voting demographic, so we're going to give a tax break on Xboxes, and that's going to really turn everything around. And it's like, no, you need to like actually think broadly. And if you're going to roll out a good policy, like pharmacare is a good policy, dental care is a good policy.
Oh, absolutely, it is. I
But it's
agree.
got to be bigger. Got to go way bigger.
Yeah.
And everybody's gonna freak out about what it costs. And it's like, well, the real question is how can we afford not to? But that's another conversation.
But it has to start somewhere, right? And then expand out. So what I would like to see is like the bigger plan. Because I feel like they governments tend to dump something in your lap and then walk away and you're like, "Oh, okay, but what next?" Right? So
Well, and it's really funny with that the liberals kind of got dragged kicking and screaming into pharmacare and dental. And now in the House, all they do is pat themselves on the back over like how amazing they are. And it's like, okay, if you actually thought it was that great, wouldn't you be expanding it like crazy right now? But no.
Yeah. People are terrible. Again, that's the Christmas message.
No, politicians specifically, they, I'd say a good 70% of them have just like abandoned reality entirely now. They just
But I
live in
mean, I
the
think that's an
Ottawa void.
easy argument to make. I remember posting some video, one of my fantastic videos, and I made a joke about the fact that it was like politicians being like not subhuman, but essentially like not real people. They were like a special kind of their own breed, basically. And I got contacted by a woman who was running for politics, and she was like, I love your stuff. It's funny, blah, blah, blah. You're amazing. You're fantastic. Probably a lot of the stuff like that. She probably said it was a good couple of pages worth of stuff like that. And then
You're
she finally got to her
handsome, you're-
point. And her point was, we can't keep painting politicians in this light because it dehumanizes them. And it means that good people won't get involved in politics, which I thought was a good argument. I thought it was like, that's a valid point. I totally get what you're saying. Because it's too easy to cartoon and to two-dimensionalize politicians and be like, politicians are just different. It's like, no, politicians are that dork in your town that you see at the grocery store. That's your politician. Like the government is just made up of a bunch of dorks. That's it. They're just regular people you see at Sobeys or Zehrs or something.
See,
I
I don't think
I
they
don't know what
become evil. I think they become isolated. I think they get trapped in the Ottawa bubble and just have no idea what normal people's lives are like.
I can see that.
I'm gonna say Vierson is evil. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
I'll give
Michael
you that.
Cooper is evil.
Yeah.
I can list a few more,
Well,
but
no
I'll get
one
Stuart in
knows
trouble.
everyone's motive for getting involved. Everyone's got their own reason for a hobby.
No,
what I mean?
some it's just pure evil.
To squash other people.
Exactly.
Well, that was depressing. How do we liven this up?
I think that's pretty. I think looking at the world view and then for 2025, I think that's a pretty good way for us to finish. Plus, people have the Boxing Day episode. That'll be much more fun.
Oh, there you
you
go.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, see, we give them a fun one. We bring everybody
Exactly.
down, and then we lift them up
There's the
after
hook.
they've
Yeah.
after they've seen their families and talked
Like,
about
oh,
how
God.
Don't want to see their
they've
family.
gathered around to talk about their favorite podcasts. And then they were all like, I've been
What's
listening
yours?
Rogan.
We've done Rogan. We've done. I've been listening to Joe Rogan actually for ages. It's nothing for my hair. But we've done
I
very
don't
well
care
in the
for
charts.
podcasts.
Actually, Podcast is Broken has done very well. We're in constantly the top 50 of news commentary. We occasionally pop our heads into the top 100 of news in Canada on Apple Podcasts, so that's pretty good. So yeah, no, we've got a
I like
great
when we
audience.
pop into the charts abroad. I find that entertaining.
Oh my
It's
God.
my favorite.
It's my
Give me
favorite.
some Germany. You know what I mean?
Right?
Charting
yeah.
in the Netherlands.
yeah.
Oh, Netherlands. They know what's going on.
They
They
know.
know what quality is.
They know what's cool.
Exactly.
They're like, we hear there's a Saskatchewan guy talking about bikes. Let's hear it.
mid-sized towns. I was going to try to do a Netherlands accent, but I don't know what that would be.
No, don't do
Be a
that.
Flemish
Baby.
accent? Is that what
No,
it's-
I think we really all want you to try a Dutch
Smoking-
accent live
yeah.
on the air.
Smoking a pancake? I can only do that.
That's all you know,
Smoking a
right?
pancake?
Smoking a pancake. Oh my god.
Anyway, let's finish off here. Lisa C just wouldn't shut up for the whole fucking thing. But I apologize for that. But nevertheless,
You do.
what can you do exactly?
Thanks for
She
hanging
can-
in, people.
She'll edit her part. So.
It's just gonna be her.
Let's finish off with a special, not a regular improvised theme song, but a special festive Noel version of our theme song. Steve, you have an idea for us?
Yeah, so I was thinking that we all have, varying degrees of delay on our audio, which means that doing any sort of collaborative music is nearly impossible. Which means that, in my view, this is the perfect time to do "Carol of the Bells."
Yeah, and I don't know the words or really the format of the tune, so it'll make it even more fun.
Oh,
Copyright
you
stuff.
yelled at me earlier.
Okay, so I am
you kinda
throwing
know
a
it, Lisa
link to the
B.
lyrics in the
I just
stream
know the
chat if
tune.
you want to grab that.
Oh my god, you
God,
put
there's
it.
a lot
I
of
have it on my
clicking.
phone.
You don't
Well,
have an
that is a
excuse now.
mega.
I know the
link. How did that
first
even
like
happen?
verse.
Is this
You
gonna give
just
me a
can't-
virus? or-
So
Well,
I'm
exactly, I know. What is this?
It's
What are
Google.
you, like 1998?
Don't open it.
It's Google.com. You
Steve has sent a
people.
phishing attempt to the chat.
Right?
So
click the
I figured
link.
I would anchor us with the dings and the dongs, and y'all
You
could
could-
come in.
Oh no!
You
Listen,
are
you're gonna
ding
get what
and
you're
a
gonna get.
dong.
That's it. We're all gonna ding and dong. That's it.
I love horror.
Can we just do the ding dong part?
Yeah. Who's starting us off in this rounds?
Okay, I'm gonna give you the bass. I'm gonna go ding dong, ding dong, and then you're gonna be like, hark
Ding.
how the bells sweet.
Okay, all right. I'll do hark. I'll do that part.
Okay.
Okay, you got this. We
Yeah,
good?
absolutely. Yeah, we're ready to go. Let's do
Okay.
this.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding.
Hark on the
Hark
bell,
how the
bell,
bells,
bell,
sweet
bell,
ding,
bell,
all
bell,
soon
as
they
bell,
broke
bell,
us.
bell, bell,
Ding,
bell,
ding,
bell, bell,
too
bell,
young, you know,
bell,
me
bell,
and the
ding,
Make me a sandwich when you're in the kitchen.
ding.
Can I have some extra mayonnaise and
Ding.
can I have some extra
Dong.
ketchup too, please?
Ding.
Maybe some yellow mustard and other stuff that
Ding.
you have in the
Dong.
fridge. In
Ding.
the fridge. Merry
Dong.
Christmas, Merry
Ding.
Christmas, Merry,
Dong.
Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas,
Christmas.
Merry,
Merry,
Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Ding dong a dong, ding
Ding
dong a
dong,
dong, ding
dong,
dong a
ding a
dong,
ding,
ding
dong,
dong a
ding a
dong,
ding.
ding dong a dong.
Mary, Mary, everybody.
And that, my friends, is what we call art.
It sure
you
was
still believe
something.
people are good? You still believe people are good? You fool.
Everybody left. They couldn't exit out of it fast enough.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching and or listening to Podcast is Broken this year. We greatly appreciate it. We've been doing this since February. Is that right? That sound right? Maybe
February,
Jen?
yeah.
Yeah, which is amazing. And we've well passed 100,000 downloads, which is amazing. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. And as I was saying, we're constantly in the charts in Apple Podcasts, which is really fun for us to be able to do. And someday we'll make money, and I'll have to give some of it to Steve and Lisa. I've already given
Feels
them.
unlikely.
Again, most people, the only people getting money from this are Lisa C and Owen. That's it.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it'll
They
be
do the
great.
hard work.
It'll be
Yes.
exactly. It'll be awesome. You can find us, of course, at podcastisbroken.ca or brittlestar.com. One link, all the stuff, which is my new slogan. I'm trying to really
I like
push
it.
and make a thing. You like it, Lisa? Did you
I
say
like
you like
it. I do like it.
It
I do like it.
lands.
I thought you were mocking me.
No, I like it.
Okay, good, awesome. Anyway, so take care of yourselves. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and be nice to each other, and enjoy the holiday season. And stay tuned for our Boxing Day special on 26th, the
On
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
Yeah.
As one would expect a Boxing Day.
Well, there's some Americans that listen. They might not know.
Don't they have Boxing Day?
They have Google.
No, they don't have Boxing Day in the U.S.
They don't?
They
No.
could suss it out.
Yeah,
They've
whatever.
heard
Well,
of it.
I think you're, again, putting a lot of faith in humans.
That's what we do
Merry
at
Christmas, everybody. Happy
Take care of
holidays.
yourselves, folks.
Take
Happy
everyone.
holidays.
See ya. Got nothing to say, Lisa? See? You're not going to say Merry Christmas? Oh, she's waving. For those of you
Happy
listening to the
holidays,
podcast in
Merry
your
Christmas.
car, there you go.
Can hear her hands going through the
That's
microphone.
exactly just hear the whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Thanks, everybody.